morning, everyone. It's Evelyn. I have 3 reads for you today. I have first a 4D, 5D, 6D read, and then a 3D, 40, 5D read. I wasn't going to do any more 3D, 40, 5D, but my guides were guiding me to do both so you can see the contrast and see what, if any part of your life is still residing within the third dimension. So if you listen to the third dimension part of it, you can notice whether that's really applying to you, or if you're totally in the fourth and fifth and sixth dimensions in both reads. So you might want to listen carefully to the energies at play there, which might help you to raise up some of your vibrations that you're struggling with. So the first one's the 4D, 5D, 6D read. The second one is the 3D, 4D, 5D. And then the third one is the twin flame read in front of you. I'll show you the pictures in a minute. Let's go ahead and take our deep breath first. I was just guided to bring in the aqua light in addition to the rainbow and golden lights, sending you lots of love and blessings. So I'm going to show you. This is the 4D, 5D, 6D read, and this is the SIRIAN Starseed deck for those of you not familiar. I'm going to show you the setup too for those of you who don't know how I do this read. All right, so we have, for this read, it's the 4D, 5D, and then 6D. For the second read, this will be the 3D, 4D, and 5D. This is the incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energy, which is the lovers you see there today. And then the final card here being the Ace of Cups over here. Okay, so the second read's the same format. It just starts with the 3D instead of the 4D. So that's the first read. This is the second read, which is the 3D, 4D, 5D. Okay, and then the read in front of you is the twin flame read. Okay, and then the entire read in front of you with the 7-deck read, all of the clarifiers. This is a lot of energy here. It is a general reading, remember, for the divine masculine and divine feminine. So if something doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit. If you want something more personalized, I do have my information below, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. I have a CD out there also called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames by Evelyn Stainthorpe, if you want to check that out as well. That will definitely help you clear a lot of, especially romantic, love relationship type energies. Okay, so take a deep breath. Let it all out. Relax your shoulders and your neck. You might want to stretch your shoulders back. Release all those stuck energies that you never move. Stretch your arms back and up and back. And remember to arch your head back as well. You might want to stretch your neck side to side, the positions that you never stretch, to release all those pent-up energies. And this first read, the union read for the 45D 60, was at 1:26 to 27 yesterday, which was the 2nd of April. Today is the 3rd of April. And the 3 is the Empress, the 2 is the High Priestess, and yesterday was the Justice energy of 11, and then today's the 12 of the Hangman. So today we have the Hangman and the Empress hanging out in abundance, perhaps, on the positive side of things. Yesterday, too, it was Friday, so TGIF was coming up, and TGIF was coming up as Thanksgiving, and then I, expanding and contracting. So remember TGIF, Thanksgiving, and then I, my chakra system, and the I am that I am presence, expanding and contracting. Okay. Oh, that's funny. 43. The number 43 is just coming up. That's the 3 of Cups. So coming together. This first union read for the 40, 5D, 60 read at 1:26 to 27 being the Magician, and then the Page of Wands and the Ace of Wands. A lot of inspired, passionate energy, right? Igniting the fire. and it is spring, so it's naturally in that energy right now. We had the underlying energy of the Lovers, the central energy of the Chariot, and the Ace of Cups as the closing energy. A lot of beautiful ascension love energy there. The Lovers ascend in an outpouring of love. The incoming Divine Feminine for this read is the Ten of Wands, Five of Cups, and the Three of Wands. Burdened in climbing to the light, with flame in hand, only 5 hours sleep last night for me. So I was feeling, I was actually pretty good yesterday, but it's been hard to get a full 8 hours sleep. You know, I might get 6 or 7, and then last night I slept really well, but the night before was only 5 hours. Grieving and unable to look up to see the Two of Cups, the two cups in front of her, present to her flame, the moment, an appropriate gift. Hard work grieving the third energy, always present to 3, the number 3, very significant here, and today is the Empress. 1 flame and 2 cups that transform into 3 flames and a red sky, only able to see red, a sea of red, a fire in the distance, and you unaffected in the present moment. So again, the drama, but also the anger issues that come up around the drama, and also the red and the sailors' issues of everything that they may have experienced on a ship, perhaps even sailing to the United States. A lot of stuff may come up with that. So the 4D was the Shadow, Ace of Swords, and the 8 of Wands. The Divine Feminine, the Shadow Web. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. A sticky situation. And I was just getting now sticky feet. The Divine Masculine in energetic exchange, coloring my world, getting all the fires under control. Organized energy, alchemizing for positive use, whipping into shape, right? That's what the masculines do. At 0 point shape, organized religion, and then losing it. So organized religion, then losing your religion. As the red sky at morn, sailor is, it's forewarned, but the way the words came out, it looks like fakes warning. Sailor fakes the warning, so it doesn't warn them. Steering the ship with pinpoint focused straight ahead. The bridging of the masculine and feminine by the Ace of Swords, the truth, Excalibur, but ready to play ball with shadow on the wall. Magenta, green orb, heart and high heart, all wrapped up in one, 2 mints in one. Contained the fire with Roundup and caught the thief with sticky sweet and honeybee. Have to get the ball through the ring of fire, but distracted by the enticing, messy accident you just can't not look at. The truth just below the surface, just waiting to make itself known. And then the 5D is the Hanging Man, the Chariot, and the 5 of Wands. The Divine Feminine hanging out with the right knee block. And I was actually doing some healing work this morning, and definitely there was some twinges around the right knee that were coming up. It wasn't actually in the knee, but around it. So the right knee block, the left knee bent, seeing another way other than hell bent, and on a crystal lease. And then leash was coming up. The Divine Masculine drama, still battling the blaze and drama, the dry desert dirt, needing the Lemurian waters to ground into, to anchor into, and that's coming up from that energy deck card of the ship with nothing to ground into. Giving ideas some weight here with the emotions. The Divine Feminine hanging out, the Divine Masculine temptation waving in amber waves of grain and lighters in concert, the flames, bridging 5D with chariots of fire and plasma ethers, the heat rising and plasma cooling, becoming the northern lights, and Christmas in July. Durga with 5 white horses, and that has to do with horsepower, natural power, as opposed to engineered power. So the 6D is the 2 of Cups, 6D is the 2 of Cups, Knight of Cups, and the 10 of Swords. The Divine Feminine connection, the Divine Masculine bliss, and merging over a cup of emotion and waves of foam, of infinity and beyond. The divine feminine, the shadow of feeling Jesus die on the cross. The anger she felt, sacrificing for the whole, rather than be with her. Choosing the family over her. This is a big wound for the masculine and feminine, that the masculine always chose his family or the group over the divine feminine. And yet connecting still in 5D, so him wanting to have his cake and eat it too, right? Connecting with his love in the 6D, and yet sacrificing her for the good of the whole, like wanting to be with the family or the group instead of having their love and being as one. The divine masculine and energetic exchange in 4D, causing conflict and blocks in the 5D, expanding and ending the pain in 6D. The bridge between them is the buoyancy or the buoyancy of the 4D truth, and the dolphins, and notice dolphins has phi in it, expanding and contracting. The power of the 5D horses and horsepower, and the 6D blue ray tidal wave of green room, which is the heart, green room emotions behind the stage before the show, where the show must go on. So the outgoing divine masculine here at 202, so 2 high priestesses or psychic people, or 2 secrets perhaps, or the 20 of justice and the 2 of the high priestess. The outgoing divine masculine, the 3 of swords, reflection, and the 4 of pentacles. Separation as lightning strikes and much needed rain comes. The hermit with light in the storm by ivy and stone wall at the bottom of the steps. The lighthouse or beacon in the storm. She's a brick house was coming up. The stone breaking plant. The divine masculine's heart in the bat cave, all cozy and warm, with crystal light and an outpouring of love, as the truth of emotions explodes out of the aqua waters, birthing the Holy Grail. But the cliffhanger is, who will catch the new baby before it falls to the ground and gets caught up in the waves? Emotions on the bridge, Spirit's connecting with me, emotions on the bridge causing a tidal wave and flood of loving emotions in the 6D. The hermit in a cool place, the divine masculine in the warm cave on crystal rock. The heating up and the cooling down on wet grounds, and there was light. Aqua, the mouth connected to the heart, the mother's influence, the child feeling loved and nurtured, safe and warm. The wisdom of the elders forewarn with a nightlight. Magenta red and greenish blue, purification of safety and security issues at the root, and bringing words back to the heart into the green. The water and emotions heading west, how the west was one, O-N-E. Inspired imagination that 2 plus oneness equals infinity and beyond. Love and blessings, ease and grace, not will and grace, free willy. I love how they bring these things through. So this one ends up with the number 52 as the Queen of Swords. She is the wounded war widow, right, in her truth, but with her heart very closed down, a lot of heart wounding. The horizontal pillars were coming up as 13, 5, and 34, which is death, the Hierophant, and the 8 of Wands. And the vertical pillars were coming up as 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, 23, 3, and 5. And then the Queen of Swords, the 52. So the end of the patriarchal establishment of marriage, religion, and commitments, and Taurus energy of traditional and the old, in energetic exchange with that Queen of Swords. The Hierophant, the journey, the magician, the King of Wands, the Empress and the Hierophant, but also the destined message to the world that the King of Wands surrenders to the Queen of Swords, the one who's been wounded by all the wars. Okay, and this energy also came up as I was doing the number grid. 222 came up again, all the 2s, the one-on-one energies, the feminine energy, the guidance energy of room 222. So this second read, which is the union of the 3D, 4D, 5D, so pay attention to the 3D and what you're still in that and what you're not, if at all. This was at 230 to 31. So we have the 2 of the High Priestess as someone's calling our number's up. That's what that message just came here. 30 is the union energy, 31 is the 5 of wands, the expansion and contraction, the freedom, the change, right? The conflict, but also the games, the pursuit of happiness, the having fun, acting perhaps, all the world's a stage. The union of the 3D, 4D, 5D, and your number's up, and it's not stopping until you come. It's like, it's going to keep ringing until you answer it. So the divine feminine, divine masculine, and this was for today's energy, April 3rd, the abundance of the 3, Gaia, and the Empress, the woman who's in her full power, according to 3D rules, right? Because the Empress has always been the woman in full power according to the 3D. We have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 9 of Swords as the underlying energy, the central energy, and the closing energy of the 9 of Swords. The fire starter, the controller, and the suffering in silence, in hiding, or the victim. Fire starter, entropy. Controller, entropy. Suffering in silence, the victim hiding, entropy. The drama queen, the pulling of the purse strings, and the children in hiding. The queen with hands into everything, another queen keeping their hands clean, and the victim between them unable to look at those two. The child unable to look at the two queens, not being a good example for them. The incoming divine feminine, the abundance, the reason, and the Page of Swords. The abundance is the Empress, and the reason is the Emperor. So here we have the power couple. That is a status symbol. The Page of Swords being the message that sends to your children. The abundant mother with open arms. The father with reason, and reason is ray, sun. Okay, the ray and the sun, and also the blue rays and the sun, as in Jesus. Giving something up that is not good for them to send a clear message and be the example. The Empress in water, the Emperor in stone. The Page of Swords, evergreen, that little light, oh mine. The Father, the Mother, Father, God, which is the child, the third ray, the Trinity. The lead pin when bowling for dollars. Looked at the Queen of Wands. So I looked at the underlying energy in that read. This is the 3D, 4D, 5D read. And the Queen of Wands, with her hands into everything, was at the bottom of the deck. And the King and Queen of Wands were big in the energies for both reads. And it was very 3D here, right? It's coming up in this read, not so much the first read I did. The Queen of Wands was the underlying energy, and I had this need to know. And I don't, in this read, I never go below the bottom card of the deck, right? That's the underlying energy. I do with the Twin Flame read, but not this one. But for this specific read, I had to go under the bottom card to see what was there. And it was like opening up a can of worms. I opened up I pulled up the Queen of Wands, and beneath her was the Queen of Swords, the Sovereign, which is another feminine energy, the Queen of Cups. All right, so you have 3 queens and a sovereign here, plus the Page of Wands, and then the 3 of Pentacles Trinity card. Beneath that was the Star, and then the Justice and the Starseed, which literally can be 3 energies of the 3 of Pentacles business, the coming together. We had 3 queens and then 3 major arcana there. And so they can be the same 3 that are involved in coming together here, co-creating, or they could be 2 separate groups. The Trinity 3 of Pentacles with Aquarius, Libra, and Aries. The Rock Star, the purse and balance, the money person, and then the Aries being the ideas and initiative person. And this was at 248, the High Priestess and the 8 of Cups walking away and within. So the Trinity, 3 of Pentacles with Aquarius, Libra, and Aries, and dealing with 3 queens, plus the Sovereign and the Page of Wands with the mask on. Or dealing with 3 queens now and saving the other 2 for later, the Sovereign and the masked boy, which can be the energies between the masculine and the feminine. The Queen of Wands reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed has been a common theme here. This came up in this read in front of you as well for the Twin Flames, and this came up yesterday or the day before as well. The Queen of Wands reversed with the King of Pentacles reversed. Moving to peace, traveling or kids back and forth, reaping rewards with Leo and Capricorn both reversed, or ego death and detoxing codependencies and addictions. Or the Queen of Wands reversed is the Leo here in their chart, And the King of Pentacles reversed is the Capricorn in their chart. Juggling, performing, or two juggling or two performing. The Knight of Cups reversed, rejecting offers from the Three of Pentacles workplace, of the Page of Cups reversed, which is also rejection energy, dumping multiple loads and or emotional attachments to expose all, to have fun in the sun, or no longer confused and finding full energy again, or with kids, Leo, pet, or ego. After death, Emperor looking back, needing help with divorce, a break, a breaking away, or child with Taurus in their chart at 3 o'clock on the nose. Double zeros backing up the 3 again of the Empress, Gaia, and abundance, which also can be lack if it's in the negative. Blocking deep connection and sharing, and take a deep breath here. Right as I wrote this, some stress was just coming up here. And when I was doing this and I wrote, after death, Emperor looking back, needing help with divorce, a break from a situation, a contract, or a break from a child with Taurus in their chart, blocking deep connection and sharing. Literally, I got a text from a Taurus that was relating to those issues, and there was a lot of stress around that. So social distancing comes up, and bad influences, third parties, overindulgences, with the Hermit shedding light to get over it and be present to the truth, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed about falling out in the past, and now the Knight of Pentacles proposing perhaps to bring a gift or make up to Sovereign. The Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Sovereign upright, the Nine of Pentacles. The Mother with open arms as the Father tosses in the towel or the false hand, with a message of light being an example, or a child's text. In the 3D here, 3D guys here, is the Five of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. The Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, in a high vibration, apart from the 3D group, experimenting with crystals to put pieces back together, or assist the Page of Swords, the child, in climbing up for assistance, right? Someone asking for help, which is exactly what happened yesterday, which I didn't realize until afterward. But this is the 3D energy that the feminine, on the feminine side, she's alone apart from the 3D group and very aware of this. With people from that group perhaps reaching out for assistance, especially children right now. The Divine Masculine sharing or settling out and are asking for handouts, or others asking them for handouts, or asking for time from the feminines around them to help them. Bridging in the 3D with the King of Wands shaman, or this can be Indian, whether it's East Indian or West Indian, however that relates to you. Bridging in the 3D between the masculine and feminine with the King of Wands shaman or Indian, and it comes up as a masculine energy with the sun at his back. This also can be very Leo energy. But it can be really any fire sign, whether it's Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. The Master of Drama Queen, a couple or siblings. Fire and Divine Feminine ice. Ice cream and fire cream. Cures of hot and then cold, or how to put fires out. And again, this comes up around the northern lights, right? The plasma gets very hot, and then the cooling off of it becomes the northern lights. The 4D is Ascension, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. The Divine Feminine ascending with the world in her right hand, the Divine Masculine, the King of Swords, with sword across his sacral chakra. Seeing the masculine being the seer and the purifier, who can't be broken, right? The King of Swords is in his integrity no matter what. But that's a very cold energy. Even if it's honest and truthful, there's no love, when it's not a huggy, kissy energy there. It's not affectionate. The seer and purifier who can't be broken, except by the saxifrage plant, right? The stone-breaking plant. The bridge, which is the sword and the stone. The feminine is the stone-breaking plant, the masculine here being the stone. And it goes both ways. Sometimes the feminine is the stone with the masculine sword in her heart, and now it's coming up as the masculine being the stone, and the feminine being the stone-breaking plant, like that she's the only one who can get through to him. the bridge by the Queen of Pentacles, the go-between of the Divine Masculine, the King of Swords, and the world. In the 5D here is the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. The Divine Feminine surrender to a higher power. The Divine Masculine sends a 5D message, and they bridge by union and home, of the home fires burning, of the King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles here. The opposite, the pairs of them, like the King of Wands would be the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles would be the King of Pentacles. So the union or the bridging here is coming up with the King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. However, I just told you the Queen of Wands reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed are pissed off over here. Those are the counterparts for those coming together, which can be the masculine and feminine, perhaps leaving two behind, or siblings that may be annoyed or just not doing well here. The Divine Feminine here in the 3D is alone, apart from the group, the 4D a part of the world, and the 5D in full surrender. The Divine Masculine balancing in the 3D, sharing and settling out, being charitable. The 4D being the King of Swords, stone cold. And in the 5D, the Knight of Swords loosens up into the Knight instead of the King, right? He sends 5D messages, and he's more agile, right? He's on the move. The outgoing Divine Masculine is the 5 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. The waves of drama or fans to get through, like the famous person trying to get through all the cars and the fans to get to their destination, to get out of the dungeon with an outpouring of love as the fans all cheer. But the star is hiding from view, right? Not liking that energy because it's they've learned that they may not be their friends, right? They've been stabbed in the back. So at 409 comes up here, the 4 of the Emperor and the 9 of the Hermit. Right, going from the Emperor to the Hermit, hiding out as soon as they can. So for this union energy, the main number came up as 42, which is the 2 of Cups. The horizontal pillars added up to the Devil, which is 15, 0, Source, and then the 27 of Ace of Wands. And this is all at 410, which is the Emperor and the Destiny card, the Wheel of Fortune. The vertical pillars came up as 7, 4, 6, 5, and then 2 tens, that very, very high vibration. So it's coming up as the Devil and God, the polarities, with a new passion for connecting, right? Bringing the polarities together. Ascending the inner children to commitment, to two-wheelers as opposed to a car, right? Getting on 2 wheels, which is more agile. There's more flexibility there. Or that 10-10 of that very high vibration, right? Because a 2-wheeler bicycle doesn't use any gas. It's natural power as opposed to a car. So it's going from the Chariot of, the 5 horsepower to a 2-wheeler where 2 can ride a bike together. Or maybe it's a 2-seater. But it's that very high vibrational energy. Ascending the 2 inner children to commit to riding bikes together. And then we have the Twin Flame read here, in which the SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt at 455. There were a lot of 5s coming up here. 4 is the Emperor, 55 is the Truth, the Ace of Swords. And I ran just before that read yesterday. And then at 505, which is the 5 of the Hierophant and the 5 of the Hierophant again, or it could be the 50 of the 10 of Cups, the happy ending or the emotional fulfillment or the lack thereof. T of Orbs came up, and orbs can mean thoughts and words, but also blind men and orphans, and also BS was coming up. And T can be anything that comes to you as, but also is toggling up those thoughts and words, especially the ones that don't serve you. Purify them, toggle up, meditate. And regarding blind men and orphans as well. And then the BS, we're clearing out the BS, the last of the drudge. We finished clarifying at 502, which again is the 5 of the Hierophant, the 2 of the High Priestess, and which is very rare. In this read, there were no major arcana in the main part of the read. Before the read, we did have the Star, Guidance, which is the Hierophant, and Higher Self, but no other major arcana. We had triple 3s were very big in this read as well. We had 3 Cups, 3 Pentacles, 3 Swords, and then 2 Wands. But we also had triple 3s in the read. Okay, so we had the Page of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the King of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups came up before the read. And we also had within the read, we also had the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. And then after the read, the King of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. So a lot of characters here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 characters. The Knight of Cups before the read, Page of Cups, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, King of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and Knight of Pentacles all in the read, as well as the Nine of Cups, which can be a person as well. And after the read, the King of Wands and Page of Pentacles. We had triple threes, so the Trinity, the 3, 6, 9, as well as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 3D, 4D, 5D. We also had double eights of the twins dancing side by side between their masculine and feminine, and then turning into the infinity together. Also, the number 5 was significant here, and 89, which is the phi energy of expansion and contraction. And you notice 5 has that phi in it as well. So we have 35 of the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Wands, the 58 of the 4 of Swords, which is the connection between the masculine and feminine in the 5D in meditation, or in that state. It could be sleep state as well. And then we have the 23 of the King of Wands, the 38 of the Queen of Cups, and then the 9, 10 begin again and again and again. The code line was all about spiritual partnership, self-love, spiritual love, or spiritual career as well. So spiritual partnership and spiritual career, as well as self-love. And it was broken up, and I'll give you that message as well. The number on the code line was all about the number 17, the star, coming from the 8 of strength and the 9 of endings, selflessness, the hermit, the collective consciousness, and the dance is the 8 as well. Regarding spiritual partnership, self-love, and spiritual career. So I gave you the numbers. We also had 33, 32. So that's 33 of the Christ vibration, 32 of the journey. As we go into Easter tomorrow, we're going through the rising right now. And the message here, to imagine after death, which is what we're in right now. After death, the rising of Jesus, to imagine after death, to see the wise one, seek alignment with the hermit, the collective consciousness, the 9. To take the high road, being thirsty for it and sweet, or taking the high road sweet, which is like the honeymoon sweet. Very much energy is coming up here as the spiritual partnership and career were being broken up into spiri and tool, which spiri means to breathe to all. The tool, and that can be, someone's a tool, or it can be the tools that you work with, or to all, or to y'all. To breathe, to all, to y'all. Part Christ and mercy ship, right? That urgency of the ship. And we had, of course, that ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal, the urgency of getting through, the mercy ship. The ship at their mercy, or them at the mercy of the ship. But this is the Christ mercy ship, to y'all, to breathe. Self-love, which is to breathe. We never breathe deep enough to actually oxygenate our bodies and be healthy every day, which is why it's so important to breathe and focus on the present moment. To breathe to, y'all, the towel without the connection, and I was just getting, how the guys whip the towels in the shower room to have fun with it, and then the money without the lowercase I, the chakra system. So what's the point of it without each other? The car previously, or somebody's first car is coming up, or somebody's first car ever, or the honor to have a car, and copper and bronze coming up, which are not placing first and second, but third and fourth, which is the Empress and the Emperor. And so who places first and second? The Magician and the High Priestess. Very interesting. I was just getting that now. So the second message coming through, the aunt, very significant, and the uncle came up the other day. And this has to do with, your parents, sisters and brothers, their siblings and their wounds in their family. And this can also be abusers who have been in your life, because it came up in the movie this week where the uncle was her abuser. And how we overlook things in the family so that it's not seen outside the family secrets. The aunt, that one, the one with the belt and the silk gauze, displays screen equipment. Sudden events, and that can be taking videos of someone as well. Sudden event where the queen seeks creative work, or alignment to get their ducks in a row, to get organized collectively. The hermit being the 9, the wise one, the thirsty one. The star takes the high road with the ladder, and then Jacob's ladder coming up there as well. The tool is the mercy ship of love. The tool is also being earlier as opposed to later. And that was coming up around the car, the first car, and the bronze and the copper being 3rd and 4th place. And the early bird catches the worm, the tool of being earlier. To breathe, the breathe in the morning, is a tool. To breathe tools, part Christ mercy ship and part self-love, right? To give to others, but also to give to love. And to speak your truth. To breathe the tools, the cars, and know the honor of the copper and the bronze, which is giving honor to your mother and father, even though they may have not been perfect, right? This can be your grandparents, your aunts and uncles as well. The strong fragrant smell of the sudden events. This also can be using your psychic smell. The wise one seeks work with the hermit, the collective consciousness, taking the high road with the star and Jacob's ladder again coming up. And then I was getting Christ, right, with myrrh, the fragrance, and whatever was used with Christ, the frankincense, the myrrh, and the star on the high road and Jacob's ladder. And here he is, Christ on the cross, rising. After being brought down from the cross, then rising again on Easter. And then the big word that came up here was forgiveness. Try not to get worried, try not to turn on to problems that upset you. Oh, don't you know everything's all right? Yes, everything's fine, and it's cool, and the ointment's sweet for the fire in your head and feet. Close your eyes and relax, think of nothing tonight. So here's the Mary Magdalene Jesus energy coming up. Complete, having taken the exam, and Spirit's connected with me. The poetry, and I'm really wanting to cry right now, and the poetry of the after-deathness, seeing the sage seek work, the hermit, the collective consciousness, and the end, being thirsty for spiritual partnership of the Jesus and Mary Magdalene. And that was just at 12:21, as it just turned to 12:22. Leaving the 21 of the world, the end of the cycle, into the 22 of the Fool, taking a leap of faith with an open heart. All right, so now we're at the twin flame read here at 6:12, which is the Lovers and the Hangman. The Lovers are everyone around Jesus for Easter, and then Jesus, the Hangman, the number 12, the Wisdom. We start with the 5 of Cups in the underlying energy. And remember that it's the template about, not the Christianity, it's the template around the love between Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and the love of Jesus and Mary Magdalene being love to everyone. The underlying energy, the mini cards on top, and then going below that underlying energy, which is the 5 of Cups upright, the grieving process, right, when Jesus dies. Beneath that is the Star upright, the 3 of Pentacles upright, the Knight of Cups reversed, the Guidance upright, and the Higher Self upright. The Star of the show was Jesus. The Dreams, the Star at work and dreams coming true. The Healer, the healing, the co-creating, with rejection, jealousy, and sincerity all around them at the time. The Moodiness with the Guidance, right? The man, the establishment, right? With Herod and all that surrounding the and Pilate too, all of the establishments surrounding the death of Jesus, and the Higher Self being Mary Magdalene, depressed, grieving with loss, and the masculine then feeling that and knowing you need to rise above in order to heal each other. Satisfied, the King of Swords, released at night. The King of Cups is reversed at day, fully exposing with an announcement, a call, a judgment, a decision, a wake-up call. The Aquarius upright and Taurus upright. Pisces, Cancer, and Leo upright as well here. The Star at work, with jealous Taurus, or jealousy around them in general, with guidance of the higher self, grieving loss, regret, guilt, and shame, and the shaman, or the shame man. And this has to do with, whenever you have a star, a very famous person, someone who's perceived to have everything the others don't, there's always jealousy, and those energies around that person get pulled in, right? Because it's polarized. No one should be the star. It's, again, the savior and the perpetrator, where the victim's in the middle. The victim must do the shifting in order to pull the two ends together. The higher self juggling, performing, with the King of Cups reversed, seeing synchronicities, offering big love, and twin, or two twin, with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, blocking them from that Six of Cups connection, the lovers being together, the inner children, that sweet innocent love, the dark energies streaming in, trying to keep them apart. And the Divine Feminine notices, but not the Divine Masculine, who's looking down at how good her plants are. And why is his bush burning when her trees are so fruitful? Dropping into the Garden of Eden, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for the two children, the inner children with innocent love, sliding down the banister into home base, or making it to the other side, leaving the Knight of Pentacles reversed behind, which was the block between them, and the High Priestess peeking out at the great riches, and then looking at what they have to offer. Like what they have to offer. If this other energy outside of me has so much, what is it that I have to offer? Withholding and saving for a rainy day, daydreaming of lovers, to go through the portal for, and to be the gardener, or roll down the river, rolling down the river, or in Venice on a gondola. Express your love, and beneath that, unrequited love coming up, letting go of what was unrequited. The grieving, again, that's requitting, right? Requited is quit. To requit, to requit, to requit, to repeat the pattern. Letting go of the old and being present in the moment by expressing your love. Grieving two sets of lovers, or grieving two sets of timelines with Taurus and Pisces, or Hierophant and higher self, one set with more color than the other. Express your love, not telling your true desires, arguing, heated exchange, delays, no longer staying quiet, no longer muzzled, no longer to be shushed. Grounding and integrating at the gate. The sweet tweets above their heads. The twins coming together for a meal or to talk. Two lovers out in the cold, recovering without an olive branch extended. No tiny violin, recovering on their own. Forced energy exchange and removing the muzzle at the gate, taking directions on what needs work, and then out for a meal perhaps, and then recovering without romance. A little footsie under the table perhaps, and perhaps a little arm wrestling, and rock, paper, scissors, or scissors, magnet, coin, comparing notes and finding it's been like a game of Clue, where Colonel Mustard works for Trump, and happy ending comes up with 93 being the reflection of 39, the Knight of Cups, and beneath that was change, which is number 5, the expansion, change, freedom, and the Hierophant, the establishment that needs to change. The traditions that need to change, right? What of the old do we need to take with us, and what of the new? Because what needs to come with us of the old is already a part of us, because it's collective as you go forward in your life. So what of the old you need to bring with you is already in you. So you only really need to focus on the present, which then creates the new. The dysfunction of the family, business, or community, or loss, with the sovereign hiding their face in their own mental prison or actual prison with the King of Swords, right? Who's not showing loving energy, looking down on them, feeling judged by them. The Hermit reverse, going crazy or coming out. And the Page of Wands reversed, crazy too, bouncing off the walls, frustrated, and chickening out, needing to swallow their pride, not calling or not calling back, or stuck between Aquarius and Virgos, both reversed, or between practice and old man. the uninspired, or scared to look down to see the writing on the wall. So at 7:05, which is the Chariot and the Hierophant, the change, the freedom, holding back an announcement or choked on their words, needing to swallow their pride. The day the music died. The hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, again alone, apart from the 3D group, in exile. The 5D lovers and the 3D lovers, and how to merge in the middle, recovering from exile alone without the olive branch extended, and have a happy ending. Self-satisfaction under the radar, with player knowing and keeping to themselves, blinded by the light, wrapped up like a deuce, another runner in the night, very tightly wound. The Page of Cups reversed, rejected and vulnerable, broken and stuck, or with car issues, and great riches to offer, while the Page of Pentacles separated and disappointed in a negative exchange with the King of Pentacles reversed, which can be their father, the Page of Pentacles and the King. The Page is upright, the King is reversed. And this can be too where the Page of Pentacles can't do who they are or what they want because then their father may cut them off, whether that's emotionally, financially, but it's coming up as financial relationship here. Time, money, effort. The dark night, the death, the end, the transition of the Queen of Wands reversed, devil or temptation, and the injustice of the split, lies, and video. Embarrassed and walking away because they are lacking faith. At night with ego and Leo and kids and pets, taming the beast and rising above, lack of sleep, or in the awakening. In the recent past, the Knight of Swords upright with the 5D messages, the messenger of truth. Present with the Knight of Wands, rushing in, right? Who wants to save the day, to recover after a negative exchange. So all of the characters in this read are negative, except for the Knight of Cups and then the Knight of Wands rushing in. All the others are reversed. So the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Present to the Knight of Wands, who likes to rush in and save the day, to recover after a negative exchange, or holding back feelings with the Ten of Cups family, making a fool of themselves in front of the twin, perhaps, or afraid of doing that. Where the world is complete, or the exam has been completed, the sealed divine feminine suffering in silence, defenseless, and losing patience, with the fallen angel, or the King of Wands upright, that shaman energy, with Sagittarius in their chart, checking in to see what the feminine's up to, what messages they bring. The foundation here is the Page of Swords reversed, perhaps some bad news, rumors, negative self-talk, spying, lying, bipolar perhaps. The Page of Wands inspired, but the King of Pentacles reversed is not. To seal divine feminine and to complete the cycle or exam. To inspire the King of Pentacles reversed, to offer love to the divine feminine before someone else does. The central energy is the Page of Cups reversed, rejected and vulnerable, or spoiled and entitled, or just babies crying their eyes out when things aren't working out or going their way. The twin dumping a load, a burden, responsibilities on the Queen of Cups reversed, with their back turned to them, with an opportunity to rise above, or seeing it, needing to learn to see the opportunity in these things. Or the Queen of Cups reversed maybe miscarried, the Page of Cups reversed, or the Queen of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups reversed both have an invitation to awaken and rise, to align. The challenge being the Eight of Pentacles, the overwork, or not working, or things not working out, frustrated, uninspired at the present moment. The heartbroken in the awakening, the Star or Aquarius, the Queen of Swords letting go to repair or make amends, and the Knight of Swords rushing back away from dysfunction or loss of the King of Wands and their family, business, or community, or legacy, or the world, right? The famous person with the world, that's their family. And then the Page of Cups reversed, rejection. The impatient Sagittarius reversed, or losing patience, drinking or making potions, going to card readers or palm readers, all business relationship that's not working out, with Dark Priestess and disconnect and not seeing eye to eye, or in a breakup, or at a distance and not able to see each other face to face, or someone's not returning, and destined to get a lift or wonder what it would be like to be so perfect. And this is coming up as the feminine energy is always looking at someone else that they have something that they don't. The intelligent woman who's a very pretty person looking at the gorgeous girl saying, I wonder what it would be like to be so perfect. and not divulging. Someone's keeping to themselves, not letting the information out, not divulging. The Emperor reversed, stunned into submission, with the King of Pentacles reversed and the King of Swords upright, which could be a Libra energy. No saviors, neither one of them, and not forgiving their past sins. Of the energy of Aquarius was coming up there, and the King of Wands. Where's that Swords? Oh, it's the King of Swords. So the King of Pentacles is reversed. The King of Swords is upright. It could be a Libra energy up here, but we also have Aquarius. But there's two King of Swords right next to each other, so there could be a Libra and Aquarius right there. But the King of Pentacles reversed and the King of Swords upright, who may be a Libra, are coming up as no saviors, as not forgiving the past sins of the King of Swords, Aquarius. All right, so there's a lot of kings coming up in this read. At 7:31 is the Chariot, and again the Five of Wands, the expanding and the freedom, the battles and fights, but also the games and the acting and the pursuit of happiness, the impossible dream, with the bird taking off to the stars. The King of Pentacles reversed in a split or divided, lying and unstable, or moving, visiting, ending a party or a marriage, implementing a plan to break patterns, with the Queen of Cups reversed, not heeding the call, or manipulating deliberations on purpose. The injustice of needing to stay calm until the runner or the PI gets here with the goods, or the King of Pentacles reversed is running away only to be pacified by Leo, ego, pets, or more injustice. Sagittarius and Libra reversed, but Leo is upright here. Unfair losing battle with the sovereign, with no news, bad news, rumors between the sovereign and the dark night, the death, the end, the Scorpio, or transition of the Emperor reversed, moving to peace or vacation or retirement, if that's not someone who's passed already. A manly woman or womanly man in death of the past, with fond memories they can only ruminate over now. The Queen of Wands reversed, feeling sorry for themselves, seeing synchronicities of marriage, religion, establishment, Taurus, after sudden jealous rage, with the Queen of Cups reversed, without a leg to stand on, and stubborn bull, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, with the Queen of Pentacles upright, coming together at work. But again, the Knight of Pentacles was the block to the inner children coming together. The Queen of Pentacles upright, coming together at work, with the Emperor reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed, and the King of Swords upright, unable to burn the past, with the King of Swords, or self, like two King of Swords. So either him unable to burn the past with himself, or with another air sign there. Soon as the Nine of Cups getting their wish. Separated and awake, uncomfortable knowing and not telling. The magician embodiment of the Six of Cups, innocent inner children, and outer children could be as well. Defenders to the Empress reversed, or mother who's in lack, with bird or Aquarius taking off to the stars. Not sharing, inequity, going crazy or coming out. The magician with Virgo in chart, and kids and Empress defenseless and suffering in silence, or a sister losing the battle. The twin flames here, seeing themselves as the Queen of Wands reversed, which doesn't have to be either twin flame. It can be the energy who's invading their space, or it could be one or both of the twins. The Queen of Wands reversed energy is either exhausted or sick or out of control, pissed off, right? That's that jealous rage kind of energy, right? She could want to, beat you up. Post-war energies. This could be post-war, post-virus, post-infection, and things not working out. Broken, stuck, chaos on the warpath of disconnect or at a distance, not sharing, dealing with scams, debt, in the aftermath of sudden events, with a mess to clean up, losing patience, or losing their temper, with a fallen angel perhaps, or Sagittarius, Scorpio, or Cancer, all reversed here. Release your ex comes up, let your friends help, and engagement, as well as trust and true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Around the twins are how they're seen as the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the block, the surrender to the frustration and feeling of failure under the radar, the devil temptation, or Capricorn, with a painful ending or ending pain and betrayal, juggling, performing, trying to keep their balls up in the air. With the Queen of Wands reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, tied to the ball and chain. The block for the twins here being the Three of Wands, being present to suffering in silence in a losing battle of that third energy or the flame. The spiritual partnership, the self-love, the spiritual career. And beneath this all, or above all this, actually, even more so, is abundance, which is that Empress energy or Gaia. Defenseless to advances, but no longer cares who's watching, whereas before, like, it was coming up like when the masculine would do things because the kids are watching, and then the partner manipulating them to do what they want because the kids are watching. The masculine no longer caring now. Like defenseless to the advances, but no longer cares who's watching. So they just be their authentic self. Finding peace with lover, released from anxiety or a prison or entrapment without a leg to stand on, and not caring, they're going to be who they are. Rejection destined, or jealous or insincere Libra energy coming up here as well. And that could just be them feeling rejected too. Feeling moody, feeling jealous, feeling like they don't want to be loved, you know. And so surrendering, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and then the Queen of Pentacles upright at the workplace, grieving the third party, and doesn't care who knows it. The King of Wands shaman, or shaman, of dysfunctional family, business, or community, with the Page of Pentacles, curiosity and separation, with the Hermit holding light, the beacon in the storm at 7:58, which is the Chariot and the Four of Swords, which is that 5D connection. So grieving the Page of Swords reversed, the Queen of Wands reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed. The Knight of Swords is upright, right? Sending those 5D messages of vulnerability, tears, and rejection. Challenged by overwork, workaholics, or work not working out. Getting wish and present to the flame. The King of Pentacles reversed, released from prison, or their own anxieties, or fears. Surrendering to the King of Wands shaman, with family loss or dysfunction. And the Page of Pentacles with an opportunity or an invitation to study or separate. And the Queen of Wands reversed, surrounded by the Death card and the Devil card. The Queen of Wands reversed, surrounded by Death and the Devil, or Scorpio and Capricorn, and the injustice of a split, divide. Or Libra reversed, falling from grace and walking away from them, and she is then left in the dark, or in the midst of all these other dark energies around them. Jealousies at work, with marriage, religion, establishment, or Taurus, and the higher self grieving the Knight of Swords 5D messages held back. The Page of Swords and Page of Cups and King of Pentacles all reversed here, which can be a father and two children, or two negative messages. The challenge being the issues of aligning, unable to work it out. And the Queen of Wands reversed, getting their wish, with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, presently surrendering to the King of Wands shaman, who has a dysfunctional family, and the Page of Pentacles, curious about crystals and lighting and lightning and holding light in the storm. That there's a reason for everything. So again, this is a child who's stepping up, wanting to know more. So even if there's all these other negative people around, there's always one that may need your help. So don't look at the dark or the negative. Allow the wheat to separate itself from the chaff, so to speak. That there will always be someone who reaches out to you if they need help, okay? And that will naturally happen. So let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards here. So to wrap up these readings, it's 58:46 to 47, which is the innocent children in the garden and the dreams and the synchronicities of the 58 connection of the masculine and feminine in the 5D. Take another deep breath. It got stressful all of a sudden. And it's 43 on the clock again, so that someone might be really stressed about coming together with someone. And there's the 12 of the Hangman with Jesus and Easter tomorrow. And it just turned to 44, which is the grounding, integrating, and mastering of love, especially allowing yourself to receive love. And receiving love was big. I just saw a movie last night, which was all about a wonderful girl who had a lot of hard times, you know, and then lost her mom on top of it, with not having a father, losing a mother. But she was like the one who gave to everything. She volunteered at school. She volunteered at an old age home. But she wasn't able to receive. And the whole movie was about her learning to actually take a gift and actually enjoy her life. Allow herself to be happy. Spirit's connecting with me. Okay, so there's a big message about that today as well. Allow yourself to be happy. Allow yourself to receive gifts or just love or just friendship. A request. Maybe when someone requests help from you, maybe you can learn also to request help from somebody else. All right, so from the energy deck, what is our takeaway here? As 47 came right up, which is the synchronicities, the dreams, the opportunities that you have. And this has to do with intellectual pursuits and the butterfly of transformation, that you have lots of options. You have your dreams and believing that dreams actually come true, which is a lot about that movie, that she had big dreams, but would she allow herself to have them? Okay, so this is the thinking woman, right? Are you thinking too much? Are you not allowing the full transformation to happen with the 47? Do you believe in those dreams? Because the Seven of Cups is reversed in this read. For people who don't really believe in dreams, they're not going to achieve their dreams. Because your imagination, your intentions, everything. And then we have the thinking man. All right, so both. The children in the garden, the masculine and the feminine. Perhaps following intellectual pursuits, or going back to their childhood and realizing that dreams do come true. And I want to do what I loved to do when I was a little kid. What comes naturally to you? What is your authentic dream? And this is about the two innocent children finding themselves apart, sovereignty without the olive branch, so that they can come together as whole and complete, fully knowing who they are. And there's the broken heart, that the heart had to break apart so that it could come together even bigger and whole, with the 9 of the collective consciousness and the hermit and the wise one, and the endings that need to happen in order for the new beginnings to come in. And then there's the world. All right. Okay, you guys, what happens after you graduate from high school? You take your finals, right? And then you have to go out and find a job. This is like taking the twins back to childhood. They've finished their final exams, and now it's time to go out into the world. Time to heal your heart and end the pain, letting go of the past. You have completed your journey. This is your diploma here with your pen and ink. What is your strategy going forward? Do you need a plan? Or do you want to just stay present in the moment and allow yourself to manifest naturally what you already are authentically? And there's the journey, the purification of door to spirit. Enjoy the journey. I'm trying to think the days of the week. One day was Friday, enjoy the journey. I think Wednesday was don't say no, go with the flow. It was a children's book. I don't know if it was Deepak Chopra, it was something like that. But it was like a book written for kids where they could follow that path. And Wednesday was don't say no, go with the flow, and Friday was enjoy the journey. So I'm very much getting that energy regarding being a kid again and making it simple. It doesn't have to be difficult. And then we have the 44, the grounding, integrating, mastering of love, and the feminine learning to receive love, which I just said was a big part of the movie that came up this week. Okay, the bottom of the deck is leaving the anxieties behind, leaving the past, the thoughts that don't serve you, the imprisonment of yourself, or being in prison, the moon of the false light, and leaving that cycle behind, right? Maybe leaving your period cycle behind. We have the community of the 7 of the chariot, which was broken here, leaving the broken groups behind that don't serve you, the bad influences, the anxieties around that stuff, and worrying about what other people will think. That's all going away. This is the twins graduating into their own cycle after having expanded their heart, achieved victory in this cycle, came full circle. This is the cycle completed, the 21, right? Have their diploma of being the helm of the ship. We have the music, the scroll work, the compass, the key, and the lock. Everything's all set and ready to go. And the strategy is, all it needs to be is being present in the moment, to open the door to the journey, to enjoy the journey, and let the games begin. Let the games begin. I was just guided to look at this pattern, whatever it is. I can't actually tell what it is. Hold on one second. Let me see if there's something that wants to come up there. Oh, so interesting. The pattern is coming up to me, and this doesn't have to be for you, but the message I'm getting is within this design here. You see how there's a point here and then the reflection of that point here? I'm getting it. It's like the seal for the twins. They cut the tips off of their swords and they put it into their seal, right? To end the suffering. They took the swords and cut the tips off, the 0 point, you know, so it can no longer hurt them. Very interesting. It's like, oh, it's like the I'm blanking on the word, the mezuzah, right? So the blessing on the front door, and it can even reference, you know, like a wreath at Christmas time. It's still that blessing on the door, that kind of energy here coming up. But this would be like a twin's seal on their door. Very interesting. Let's see here. If I didn't say the word right, let me know, because there's a lot of words I don't remember anymore. It's hard for me to recall sometimes because I have a little bit of a brain injury. Hopefully I'm healing it all. And maybe it's just my ascension brain. But I don't always remember words anymore. So those are coming up from the energy deck. Let's see what the journey of love says. All right, so the journey of love. All right, what is our final takeaway from these reads today? What do I need to know? The journey of love. A whole bunch just came out. They want me to show you. All right, the bottom of the deck here is Legacy of Light. The 53 is the Knight of Swords. It's the Messenger of Truth. It's also the catapult energy of the Legacy of Light. And it's like the feminine holding it underneath her arm, you know, like a sleeping bag or something that she's got under her arm. Beneath that is Drop Into Your Heart, the 68 of the Page of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. Page of Pentacles was upright in the read too. And I'm getting, like, in the right arm is that Legacy of Light, and in the left arm is the past, right? It's like ghosts of the past. That's what I'm seeing right now. And we're letting go of all that. So this group of cards came out in a clump like this. We have Soft, which is 47. And again, that's the dreams that come true. If you don't believe in the dreams coming true, then they're not going to come true for you. But here's the softness of just allowing, and the pearl that's very soft. The coming together in the heart. Drop Into Your Heart just came up, and the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe the feminine should wear pearls. Maybe that gets the masculine's heart pumping, or maybe that gets her heart pumping because she loves pearls. And then across the waters is the King of Wands. And there's the feminine again. This card came up the other day, waiting in the walls, half in, half out, half in the vortex, half in the cyclone of the 4D. Waiting for the light to come, the King of Wands, that she loves. She's taking a risk to love herself first. Right? And that becomes the same energy. When you love yourself first, you love your twin, because your twin is your higher self. And then you have the 38 of the pearl threaded, that we're all connected. And look at all the pearl energy that's coming up here, right? The pearls, and there's very pearly energy there as well. And they all look like little pearls and these swirls of white. And here too. Okay, the pearl light. Remember the pearls of wisdom, what comes from the bacteria that gets into the clam or oyster is what becomes the pearl when you reject it. It's the growth from not accepting something, right? You reject it and reject it and reject it until you accept. And when you accept it and you finally surrender, that's when the pearl is complete. And that's when the light comes in to bless you from the ancient ones, the 52 of the Queen of Swords, receiving the light codes, the ancient ones. This is like graduation ceremony. This is their blessing. They're giving her a gift. This is her graduation. This is a really beautiful message, you guys. They're telling the Divine Feminine that she completed her schooling. Right? In the Wheel of Fortune, the Akashic Records is schooling the goose, the golden goose. And the golden goose keeps saying, but. And this Akashic Record is saying, shut up, got the sword, up, but, up. Nope, shut up, right? So here's that energy of the Wheel of Fortune, the Destiny card, about the pearl, that it takes a long time for the pearl to form. And you need to hold on to your dreams. Heaven in your eyes, synchronicities. You need to follow your guides and be soft and allow and accept the coming together of the Queen of Pentacles, of yourself, of your own heart. Allow it to function perfectly again. Get it back into order and healthy. And this is like the printing presses too. It always reminds me of the Muppets. Hold the presses. The coming together. Across the waters, across the cycling, getting through the 4D bridge, the purgatory, the purge, to the other side, the vortex, where she's waiting for her divine masculine, the King of Wands, after she took a risk to love herself. Instead of trying to find love outside herself, finding love within, because her higher self is her twin, and helping each other heal, connecting the pearls together to then understand that you are one. And here's like, I'm getting a clarion call to both twins. A shout out. It's the Queen of Cups. And the tulips. The tulips. But in this card, tulips, they're usually red or something else, or white or whatever. Here they're coming up as all of the higher chakra colors. There's a lot of aqua and blues in here and greens. Beautiful. And there's some purples in here too in a softer way. But it's really coming into the two lips, because the two lips are at the throat chakra. They're not at the red chakra. The Queen of Cups, softening. So then we have, look at that, we have three queens. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and then the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So who's not there? The Queen of Wands. She was upside down being a little bit crazy. All right, so this is like graduation day for the feminine, saying, we told you when you graduated you would get a gift, and now here's your gift. And there's two more cards coming up here, the 24. How crazy is this? You have all four queens that just came up, and the King of Wands. But this is a very 2D card. Look at it. It's got like caramel or butterscotch color, and then mustard, and then teal. They're all very browned colors, which is the color of illness, right? Because it's very grounded and earthy, of this earth. The 24, the spaces between the words, it's like that third energy. It's like the writing on the wall too, because it's like a 2D painting. The spaces between the words, the 24, we might read this one here. The 12 of self-initiation, and this is the back of the deck, right? So these cards here, that's the back of the deck. And that's the one that came up for you here. That's graduation, you finished the deck. You went from the 2D to Easter, the 12 of the Hangman. The Queen of Wands is 24, is twice the 12. The Hanging Man. But the Hanging Man is in a suffragette city, I was just getting, but he's in a position as a hanging man in a place of suffering. So it's like letting go. We don't need this cycle anymore. We're putting this cycle away. We don't need to suffer anymore. We don't need the drama, and we don't need to sacrifice. And so we're self-initiating ourselves into a new cycle. Being able to see the spaces between the words, merging these two together. So the 18 is the false light. It's leaving that behind. 18 is the center between the 12 and the 24. So we're going to read. Let's see. So 24 says, and 24 is also the end of, I always get that as the end of karma on a community level. It's the omega. The spaces between the words. When we look for guidance, we often look for words that clarify, reassure, and help us find our authentic path through the chaos. Yet there's also guidance in the spaces between the words, between each letter, between all the happenings in our lives, where there is nothing to be said, where there are no lines to be colored in, where there is just openness. Those are the times when we need to freestyle. We need to do or not do based on what is happening for us right at that moment. Often there's far less to do than we think. Often we don't need to think. There is a space forming around you now. Sometimes when we sense this subconsciously, we feel exhilarated and excited, anxious and nervous, and not even sure why. There's a sense perhaps that we wouldn't mind having a map of this unknown terrain, or perhaps we are happy to wing it and make it up as we go. Either way, there is space to just be. It is a receiver for the divine presence. Again, this is like when I always tell you to make sure to drink water because it helps you connect to the etheric realm. Here they're saying that the space, the ethers, is a receiver for the divine presence, allowing space to connect. If you have a lot of space of unknowing around you now or within you, then just know that there's a lot of divine presence to be received. As I just told you, you're getting a graduation gift. It can't be explained really. It happens between the words, and yet without it, there wouldn't be any words or any guidance at all, and there were no major arcana in the main read today. The oracle speaks to you. Enter the space and let go. And we also have the card of the feminine half into the vortex. Enter the space fully and let go, for your time to receive is upon you. Be blessed. Day birth. The eastern rise of time, on newborn wings, bursts out across the lifeless crowd and sings its climb to heights unknown, of beauty, warmth, and power upon its throne, to fade again in western sky, and going west came up in my read, and only for a moment lie before it takes its course again, to breathe once more in heart of man. And to breathe was a big deal in the message as well. Okay. To fade again in western sky, as the sun goes down in the west, and only for a moment lie before it takes its course again, to breathe once more into heart of man. Okay. I'm going to read self-initiation as well, number 12, as tomorrow is Easter. Off the cross. So self-initiation says, you're being touched by a wave of your own light and motion. Can you feel the blessings and love that are flowing towards you? And again, this has to do with, can you accept love for you? Not give love, but receive it. From within you in an upsurging wave of love. This is your own pure divine nature. You can choose to empower another as the carrier of your own divinity, of course. And sometimes if you're not quite ready to recognize your own divine essence, this needs to be. Yet at any moment, you can choose to recognize that it is you who are initiating yourself into love, that you are being of light, the divine, that is drawing you forward into yourself. At any moment, you can choose to recognize yourself. Will this be such a moment? This oracle holds a message for you. There are many teachers on this path, some humble, some wise, some great companions on your life journey, and some who will enter in and out of your life quickly, perhaps imparting a helpful word or teaching you a more challenging lesson about trusting and relying upon your own wisdom, because it's never about trusting others, it's about trusting yourself. The greatest teacher, however, is life itself. You can trust in your own experiences and know that it is the divine spark within you, the life within you, that is the one true teacher who carries you home in awakened reunion with the divine. And the poem simply states, how easy to love, the words flow when it is right. I dare not tell you. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, and get your nature. And as always, guys, rise and be loved. Have an amazing day. Love you guys. Bye.